Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or its affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. Okay, weird noises coming from us today. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Day 3 Axe Fest. Today is the Axe Fest Telethon. We are going to be asking you guys to help us out with some financial means, plus giving you gifts in return.
Right, correct.
For that. So, and we got today, it's about Veterans Church.
Yes.
Right. I don't have my name badge on me.
That's right.
That's okay. They know who I am. You know who I am. Here we go.
You should know who I am by now.
Let me see about turning this up. Let's see what we do. What we got here.
Do you know who
I'm the third wheel on the morning drive.
I'm the spare tire that shows up every now and then.
There we go. Let's just listen to it. There you go. You're just staring that way. That's funny. Yay! Now you just sound like you're rasping for breath there, Fred. All right. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to day number 3 of Axe Fest at the Axe Fest Telethon and the Veterans Church. We're going to be talking about Pastor Bruce.
Yes.
And
the Veterans Church.
And the Veterans Church. And
issues.
And the issues. And speaking of shoes, he's got some big shoes to fill.
Yes, he does.
So,
and we need to pray for the Veterans Church. We need to pray that God sends the right man so that he can head up the Veterans, somebody who has a vision for the Veterans Church. Not only that, but unity in Christ. But we need to also remember that he does have big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Your dad had a lot of years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So he had a lot of years into
was
Acts.
Okay. What branch of service was that?
He was in the Army.
Okay. Yeah.
He was in Vietnam. He's a Vietnam War vet. He was.
Oh yeah.
So,
okay.
And he talked about a lot of stuff that he did and that he witnessed while he was over there. I don't think he ever actually told me about like everything that he did and witnessed over there, because it was pretty gruesome,
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that the Vietnam vets don't even want to go there. They just as soon talk about another subject. You start talking about it, and they're like, "Oh man, the weather really is nice." They immediately change. The Vietnam War veterans.
You said 80 degrees was cold over there. When you were in 80-degree weather, you were freezing. It felt like.
Wow.
Because it's a tropical climate.
Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true.
110 degrees usually, and then all of a sudden it's 80 degrees one day. Your body's used to it, so then you feel cold.
Your lips turn blue.
He was what he called himself a river rat.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Which is like they would drop him off at a bank, and they would clear the bank, and then take a boat. It was like that, something like that. Like they would take a boat down to a certain bank, clear it, make sure that there's enemy there, and then get on a helicopter and go down to another. I don't know. It was a river rat thing. So it was, and he really, really loved helping people, especially veterans.
Mm-hmm.
During the Veterans Church, it used to be every Thursday night and every other Sunday, every second and fourth Sunday, and it would be 2 hours long. And I should have got some video to show.
That would have been fine. But we could always do that for a tribute at another time.
Because he passed away in November, and his birthday's coming up here in about 4 days.
Mm-hmm. He and I share the same birthday.
Yeah, the 20th. So,
and you're the grandson. You're Tanner.
That's Tan Izzle, I call him. My sizzle.
But thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And
what did Grandpa used to tell you?
What?
What was Grandpa's favorite thing to tell you there
Oh
near the
my.
end of his life?
Pace yourself.
Pace yourself.
Pace yourself.
I'm
boy.
actually going to get that engraved on the 357 Henry that I inherited from him.
Wow.
I'm going to have pace yourself on one side and all part of God's plan on the other. And I realize that's pretty ominous to put on a firearm, but it definitely, I mean, everywhere.
Well, you always have it. So
I always heard him say, "How can I help you?" But in his own way of saying, "How can I help you?" He was always willing to be the first one up at Acts Church to pray for you, and he was always laying hands on you. Of course, he always said,
He prayed for people all the time.
"Yep."
Like he'd
he did.
stop. He used to call himself a whacked out Vietnam vet, which he wasn't whacked out. He always told a joke, and I've seen him stop. I'd be walking with him in the grocery store, be talking to him. I turn around and he's not beside me like he was, and I look back and he's praying for somebody that's in one of those rolly scooty things in the grocery
I
store.
call him Jazzy or whatever. Anyway, I know what you mean.
Jazzy.
Yeah, I've got a Jazzy.
Is that what it's called? Is a Jazzy?
Yeah, there's Jazzy and there's a hover round. I mean,
Little rascal.
okay, so
Something like that.
this is like you have part like this is a licensed thing that you use it and you call it a jazzy.
no, it is called a Jazzy. That's
It is actually called a jazzy.
Are you talking about the thing that you have that has the seat on it that it's a walker / seat? I'm talking about I'm talking about the electronic ones that are in the grocery store.
The
yeah.
carts.
Yeah, the little rascals. I
call
don't know
them-
what brand they are.
I know. I don't. Either.
Scooters.
I just call them electric scooters, and they're good because I used one yesterday while I was in that Mart Wall.
Walmart. Yeah. So, what is your purpose for today? I mean,
The purpose really for today,
I was put here last minute.
I know, and I chose you because I wanted to do something real quick, and I think we need to do this. It's in honor of your dad. We need to do a moment of silence.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
and I think we need to do this because Bruce goes way back as far as I can
Sorry about the
remember.
bald head, folks. Dad would be like, "Take your hat off, boy."
Exactly. You sound just so much like him.
Yeah, I mean, nobody really sees me with my hat off, so this is probably really weirding people out.
Well, on the morning drive, bald cap. Anyway,
Ball cap. So
we'll
let's
get
have a
into-
moment of silence for the veterans.
Right, and we'll get to the issues here in just a moment.
And so that was for the veterans. That,
Yeah, that was
not
for
just
Bruce and all the
the ones
veterans.
that lost their lives. Protecting freedom. And
I thought that would be a good way to start it out. I think that it's really important that we talk about the issues for the Veterans Church because the Veterans Church does a lot of things for a lot of people.
And as of right now, it is without a shepherd, if you
Right.
will. When Dad passed away, there was. Sorry, this thing is not really functioning right. Anyways, when he passed away, there was nobody to step in, and there were people that we could have put in that place, but there's such a high expectation
High demand.
of a servant's heart, because when you have my dad as the example,
Right.
it's really, really hard to find anybody that fit that description.
That's true. And when you have somebody that dedicated and you have somebody that has that unity in Christ, you really have to make sure that next person, whoever it is, they have to have the same vision. Especially.
Well, it's not to be taken lightly.
No, it's a very serious role to take.
So
one of the issues is transportation. We make sure that now, I guess there was a benefit that we did a few years ago. They stopped it. I don't know why, but Jim wants to start it back up again.
Oh, yeah, the telethon. And that it stopped because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we didn't have a whole bunch
I'm
of
talking
people in
about transportation and
there.
along with the telethon, but
Okay, sorry. You talking about
where we went and picked up homeless veterans to go get their prosthetics taken care of.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah,
didn't
we
know
did that.
anything
We
about
did that. We did that in Branson, where they did a benefit, and that's what he wants to bring back as a benefit for those people who are homeless veterans. And you know what? If they're called a homeless veteran, shame on people for not, wanting to do more, because homeless veterans deserve a lot more than just being homeless, for sure.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that goes
And
without saying.
so the transportation part is where we used to go and get pick up homeless veterans because they didn't have anywhere to
Any
get
way to
their
go?
any way to get to their place where they were their prosthetics taken care of, and so that's one of the things we did. And so we did a benefit to raise money, but we also want to make sure that those veterans that are homeless got taken care of. And there's a lot of homeless veterans out there in Branson. I go by them all the time. They're on the streets. They're on the corners. With a cardboard sign. And I pray for them. If I can't give anything, I pray for them.
Yeah. I mean that's an important part. You got to be able to. Dad talked to so many people everywhere he went. That's what he would do. Is he would always proclaim the gospel to people, and definitely would always take care of veterans as best he could. Now I don't have the number anymore, but he had the Veterans Crisis Hotline
right. Okay.
number.
So it's not a national. It was that was his direct number.
He did have a direct number. That number is no longer valid. But the Veterans Crisis Hotline is still on, up and running. I mean, it wasn't made by him. He just put it up here.
So I guess we'll have that on the banner here.
I gotta find it. So.
Okay. So in the meantime, what was it like with Grandpa there, Tanner?
I mean, we'd just sit around and talk about life and the Bible, God, and he would tell me sometimes he would tell me some stories about Vietnam, and not very often, but every now and then he would talk about it. The subject is it's a hard thing.
You really can't share stories, because when you share stories from Vietnam, they're telling you just very little, and the very little they're talking about is nothing from what they remember, because especially if you go too far back, you can have issues.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Dad never had flashbacks or anything like that. I mean, that I was aware of.
right.
I'm pretty sure when he first came back home from Vietnam, I'm pretty sure that he was pretty bad for a while. I mean, the stuff that they saw over there. I mean, war is not pretty.
No.
In the stories they talk about it being like glory and battle and things like that.
They try
but
to
in
put
all
on
actuality,
a face.
it's like watching going into a butcher shop.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit graphic, but I mean it's true. It's nothing like they say it is, like the way the media portrays it.
Mm-hmm.
It is violent. I mean, war is war, and
Yeah.
And that's why they have flashbacks, is because there's things there that
it's traumatic.
And that's where the PTSD. Now, see, PTSD coming from that angle, PTSD for a veteran is very serious. And the PTSD, you can have that with anybody. Everybody automatically associates that with military, but it's beyond that, because you got to think about the wives, the children, and they're affected as well. And PTSD is a very serious disease, and we need to remember to pray for those anyway. We need to pray for those that are in homeless shelters, but then there's the veterans home as well. There's Vietnam veterans, there's World War II veterans that are in the home. That's in Mount Vernon, correct? the veterans
The
home,
VA.
the veterans home.
I'm not sure.
That's in Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
That's we call it the veterans home, and
We're gonna.
my friend Carrie Miller goes out there and entertains for those. And if you've got a few minutes, people, volunteerism. I learned so much yesterday about volunteerism. If you've got a few minutes, you've got an hour or two, and you're in that area, go to the veterans home, and your life will change just after talking to a couple of veterans. So that's really important. We as Christians need to remember and you don't have to go to the veterans home. You can go to Branson. You can come stay right here in Springfield, and walk up to a veteran and just say, "Hey, I'd like to pray for you. If you can't think of anything else or can't give, I'd like to pray for you." And you know what? They're most of the time they're receptive.
Sorry, I'm doing this.
That's okay.
Because Dad would definitely want this up here. So let's do this. Just definitely for old time's sake. Veterans Crisis Hotline. I think I spelled it right. VETERANS.
Yes.
Veterans.
Yep.
Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. If you or somebody you know is a veteran and they are having a crisis, or if you're worried about their psychological or emotional well-being, be sure and call this number. They're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Somebody will be there. So, yeah, there's that. Dad definitely mentioned that at least 2 or 3 times, 4 or 5 times, sometimes more during the sermons and stuff that he did.
And then, of course, there was music at the end.
Yes, lots of music. And I watched a video of that the other day, and it was just so amazing. It was one of those times where we had one of the pastors of it was Leo, and him and Dad would always kind of get in these little passive aggressive little arguments about whether a song should be one way or the other. And Dad would just, while he's playing, he would just change it completely. And you can always tell when he does something like that, because like, especially if I'm there, because we look at each other and smile and try to keep from laughing. You know what I'm talking about? There's quite a few videos. Just go onto YouTube at the Veterans Church and watch some of those. It's amazing. When I would sit there and just watch Dad pray and feel the heart of his prayer, and it's just amazing. Go check it out. I may be biased, but I'm pretty sure everybody that sees that knows that the man there's something special about him.
And that's why Veterans Church is so important, because you're not only watching Veterans Church when we do start it back up again, you need to go back and watch a lot of the sermons, a lot of just Veterans Church in general, because it can be some of those episodes can be life-changing. And in fact, Jana, my friend from Michigan, she started watching the Veterans Church with your dad.
All the way from Canada.
All the way to But she did. She watched it, and she was so touched a lot of times by your dad. She wanted me to tell you that.
Well, Jana, if you're watching, thank you.
And she was really taken back by when she found out that he had passed. So, but she asked me, she said, "When is the Veterans Church coming back on?" I said, "At this point, I'm not sure, but I hope soon." So, Jana, love you, and thanks for watching.
Okay, so I'm going to take this Veterans Crisis Hotline off of here for the moment, because now this is actually a telethon.
True.
So we are basically asking for donations, because it takes funding to do what we do, and we want to continue to do so. So you can go to axmediagroup.com, go to the donate now or donate here, or it's
yellow. It says donate.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you guys how this is going to work. Let me see if I can do this. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully it doesn't glitch out here. This definitely I'm working on this. This is going to be great.
That's okay.
I'm going to Axe Media Group. And I will show you guys here in just a minute. Let me pull this up to make sure that we're still broadcasting. So far, so good.
Oh, good. No glitches allowed.
All right. And then you guys are going to love this. All right. So we're going to take you on a little journey to, is that number 3? Number 3.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
All right. So you guys are looking at this right here. Yeah. So this is axemediagroup.com, right? Okay. We're live streaming that stuff and you'll be able to see that later on. This is basically what's going on here. Hulu gives all kinds of stuff. Oh, there's a picture right there of me and Jay. This is where it started. The Morning Drive, 2015, July 7th. And that right there is in Jay's. This is Jay. The dining room. It was cold that morning. He was kind of chilly. You can see he's kind of falling asleep there.
The dining room.
And then, of course, down here, you've got Dennis Everson working on some stuff here. He's always got projects there in that office that he's doing. So, but that's not the point that I got. There's also all kinds of things that you can watch here. But this here is where you go. You click right here. Boom. All right. And it comes up and you put your amount right here and you can make it a monthly donation and you click donate. Let's just say $1, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So donate with PayPal. And of course, I'm not going to actually log into that because you guys can see everything. But everybody knows my email address anyways. So
I do.
I was worried.
a lot of people.
I was told.
I
was worried.
Anyways, after that, you'll log in and you'll do your PayPal thing, and then there'll be a little line that says note. And let me go ahead and get us back on here. Uh-oh.
What did you do?
Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Anyway, there's a little note section that puts for what. So if you put donation for what? $5 donation, you get what?
You get $5. You get a bag.
You want to grab that bag there?
The black bag.
These are gifts for the canvas looking bag there.
$5 for the bag.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not for the bag. The bag will be. We can send you that bag.
It's a $5 donation.
Yes.
We want to make sure
$5 donation, and then you'll get the bag as a gift.
It is. We're not selling anything. It's definitely
grab one
a
of
donation.
those pictures there. Grab one of those framed pictures there. You should probably.
And that's for any donation, by the way. The plaques.
The plaques are for any donation.
For any donation.
$1, $5, $500.
And this
here
prefer
says
500.
It's got a picture. It's got a picture of a lighthouse. I don't think you guys can see it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
Yeah,
it says it right here. Boom.
Thank you.
All right, so, and it says, core values. Values are critical guides for making decisions. When in doubt, they cut through the fog like a beacon in the night. That's what this says.
Yes.
Now there's different ones. There's like there's like a whole bunch of different ones there. And This is for any donation. You can set it on your desk, at home, in your office, and talk about core values. And there's a bunch of other ones over there. So
now you do have to specify in the memo box whenever you give your
which
donation,
gift you want.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a way you got to get in touch with us so we can mail it to you, or you can come into the office and pick it up. So
and we'll give you that. It's 4166 West Kearney, Springfield.
It's on our website.
Okay.
It's on our Facebook page.
Oh, that's true. So just send that donation to us here at the studio, and we'll make sure that you get it. So,
and then we have other things too. So, I need to figure out.
We have a Noah's Ark bank that was handmade. It's I can't.
Is it a piggy bank? It is a piggy bank,
It is.
and it was handmade.
It was handmade, and that's for a $10 donation.
That's for a $10 donation. You can get the Noah's Ark, and it's that. What do they call that?
Noah's.
I mean, what do they call that type of yarn work?
Oh man,
It's like right on the tip of my tongue.
it's if Rachel was here, oh yeah, I know what kind that is, but it's done very well.
Wow.
It's kind of cool. It'd be something cool to have, and you can reach in there and get the money. Make
That's
it
right.
easy to get the money out.
Yeah,
And you don't have to break it to get the money out. You don't have to break the bank.
that was good. And then,
Womp, 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 womp.
I mean, there are all sorts of animals on here too.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you have
Rabbits.
There's a monkey hanging off the side right here,
a bunny.
and look, you have a
Through the
possum right here,
Mm.
and you have a giraffe right here, and and there's a person. It's Noah.
Yeah, there he is.
Noah, right?
I was going to say you
How do
can't
they
have
know
Noah's Ark.
How do
without-
they know that Noah had a beard, a white beard?
We
don't.
That's
Well, we
a
don't,
good
but,
question. I don't know.
That's like, I wrote a song called Jesus Ain't Some Hippie. And it's, nobody obviously knows exactly what Jesus looked like.
No.
They say he probably looked unremarkable as far as like his physical features.
Yeah, right. He was a Jew, so.
And in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
And and he was a carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very fit.
Mm-hmm.
And his skin was probably olive.
Mm-hmm.
And his hair was probably not long and flowy.
It was probably
Like-
brown and curly.
Yes, or black
would-
and curly.
I would say that. Yeah.
So, but if we get so focused on what Jesus looked like, we can lose
I mean,
his
That's-
character. And
Right.
who he is more important than what the face is that he wore.
Right. The Face of Love is basically what I consider. There's a song called Face of Love, and that's what he is.
what he looks like isn't. It's not important. In fact, the scriptures actually say, "Do not make any graven images of God," and Christ obviously existed, so people did see him, but nobody actually made a picture of him while he was alive. But also,
they didn't.
But also, one, we have the hope we are going to see our Savior one day, and it is important. I'm not saying the lineage isn't important, because the lineage is important of Christ, but what he looks like isn't.
We've got a bunch of other stuff we need to get
Yes.
through real fast in the next 10 minutes. So you
Yes.
got for any donation,
No, this is actually $5.
a $5 donation, you get a jump rope.
Yep. Jim just called it a rope, and I'm like, why have we got a bunch
I
of
was like,
ropes?
what is he talking
Yeah,
about?
and then when he
ropes.
brought it out, then I'm like, those are jump ropes.
And then what is that right there?
That
that is a
is,
Mickey Mouse. That's like a car. It looks almost like the Beverly Hillbillies car, but it's got Mickey, Goofy, and
presents.
Minnie, and presents in the back. Oh, so he's driving it like it's a sleigh, but it's a
Right,
Christmas
right.
deal. So you can get that. What
for
is that?
$25.
For a $25 donation, we will ship you that as a gift for our thanks.
Yeah, it's not really visible on
see
camera. No, they can't.
You want to grab it?
That's what I'm going to do.
Well, they can see it, but yeah.
Well, here you go.
It
I don't know
kind
if
of
you
blends
can-
into the red, white, and blue background.
Yes.
But you can see the wheels there. You can see it looks like a sled, but it's a car. It's an old car with
Right.
it looks like gas lantern headlights.
It's a
Exactly.
fun little Christmas decoration.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Randy Plummer for donating these.
Oh yeah, Randy Plummer donated these.
Yes.
Oh, he's an interesting fellow.
He is. I'm going to have him on the show probably this fall sometime.
I like Randy. We
Oh.
always end up getting in trouble, him and I, because we're so immature, both of us. And
No, really?
we sit there giggling the entire time. We had a serious show going on, and Randy Plummer was sitting where Tanner
think I
was, and I was
watched
sitting
that.
where you were, and we were giggling back and forth to one another.
Oh, I did watch
Man,
that
it
show.
was so funny.
I forgot
Um,
what show it was, but
So what else do we have? We have
let's see.
There's some stuff in that seat right beside you there.
Oh,
What is that? That's another Mickey Mouse thing. What is that? What is that?
This is for $5. This is a lighted sculpture, illuminate. That's how you say it.
I need to
For
go
five. For
Nut
you
jar.
can't see my face, but that's okay. This is more important. You can get this for $5. Whoa.
Whoa.
Ooh, almost.
Yeah. That's why we got to get you I always get you the heavy crockery mug.
I know. I don't know. I've been.
Okay, so that goes in a window, and
Yes.
it is lit. You plug it in, and it lights up, and it's Mickey. They can see it.
It's an however you say it.
Illuminate. All right, so hold it up a little bit. All right, you can see Mickey and Minnie there. So go ahead and set that down.
Okay.
And how much is that for a $5 donation?
Yes.
We'll send you that.
Yeah, minimum of $5.
Minimum of $5. If you give more than $5 and you want that,
You can specify.
Ooh.
Bag of coffee.
This is serious stuff here.
What is that?
That is Dancing Mule Coffee.
Dancing Mule Coffee.
Actually, it's an espresso.
An espresso
An
for how
espresso.
much?
For $7.
$7 donation. You can get that espresso coffee. They're the beans, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So you will need a grinder, a coffee grinder, in order to enjoy that.
Yes.
Unless you want to bake them and roast the deals and coat them in chocolate and make espresso beans.
But
yeah.
I mean, because they're beans and it's an unopened package, the oils are still in it, and it's still going to be really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's going to be nice and strong.
Oh, well, that's espresso.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Patsy Robbins is watching. Robert Laurent says, Zoom.
Zoom.
I don't know.
Maybe he's watching through Zoom.
Well, we don't have a Zoom thing going on.
Well, maybe
right
he.
now. Oh, is that
Zoom.
Zoom. Oh,
I think he was talking about.
What do you got
car.
there? Is that
That is by good friends of mine. They donated this. Ron and Haven Howard.
Oh.
I'm adopted. Now we didn't talk about this, but they're a duo, and they're very good. And so I would say for $7, because we didn't really talk about how much this was going to be, but I would say $7 for a donation. And just remember to go to the donate page, donate, and remember on the memo, make sure you tell us what you're getting so that we can send that to you.
yes. Which gift you would specify?
And
which
we'll
gift you
be
would like
showing
for the
these
donation.
throughout the day. We'll be talking about these. So
Right.
by the end of the day, hopefully we'll have all of these things spoken for. Now, what do you got there?
This is Susan Abar.
Susan Abar.
This is Against All Odds. This is a story. I don't want
She's
to.
really good at telling that story about the 2 pennies.
Yes, and I don't want to
amazing.
give anything away. I want her to tell the story, but I want you to read the book and then let her go into the Copper Coin. I can say that now.
Yeah.
Copper Coin, which is in the Grand Village Shopping Center, and go in there and ask for Susan. She'll probably be there anyway. Her, Dana,
And ask her to tell you the story.
yeah, she'll probably end up telling you the story. Without asking.
And it's not a boring story. The way
No.
she tells it very well.
She told us that when we first met her 10 years ago, when she had a little bitty corner in a mall.
Was that Calf Mall?
No, it was Tanger.
Hmm.
She had a little corner in a little glass area called the Copper Coin, and you'll just have to go in there and have her tell you about the pennies. And anyway, she told us that story, and I was like, "Wow, what a powerful story!" And Rachel just sat there in tears. We sat there in tears, and so and I think she'll even autograph it. If you have, I don't know if this is this is an autographed book, and
Nice.
There's a penny in here.
There's actually 2 pennies in there. She has a penny in the spot.
Where at?
There's a go back. It's a penny on a bookmark.
Oh yeah, I see that now.
Yeah.
And this
it's-
is her card. So
Yeah. So check that out. remember, you can get these by donating online at axmediagroup.com. And then what else do we got there?
Oh, actually, there's 3 books here, but this is Randy Plummer's Snow Deer.
Snow Deer.
Donation of $10. And by the way, the Legend of the Snow Deer, I don't know what he's doing this year because of COVID. They didn't have it, but he actually has a production based on the book.
We're about out of time.
So, but thanks folks for joining us. And we're going to talk more about these. I think I went over everything anyway. I think everything's been talked about as far as donations.
Yeah, and I'm going to fix this microphone. It's
in the meantime, but
flippy-floppy.
Folks, before we leave, we just want to let you know that we love you. God loves you. And be thinking of a veteran. Pray for a veteran. If you know a veteran, go love on them.
All right. Well, we'll be back here in just a little bit with more on the Axe Fest, the all this stuff that's going on out here, the telethon, and we got someone getting on here to talk about autism. But Dr. Jim Whining and Don Blackard will be here with him. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And then at 11, we're going to start our banquet.
Yes.
Well, a luncheon.
Luncheon. It's a luncheon.
That is a luncheon.
It's an awards banquet /
luncheon.
Awards luncheon.
All right. So
anyway,
so we look forward to seeing you guys here just a little bit. Tanner, thank you for being on here. We really didn't talk a whole lot, but
no, it's good.
No, you were here
honored.
for moral support, so we appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So we love you guys, and we'll see you here in just a little bit with more Axe Fest and telethons.